Countries in Central Europe are being hit by severe floods, and in Romania at least 4 people have died.
Joe Biden dismisses a threat from Vladimir Putin about a war with the West if Ukraine is allowed to strike targets inside Russia.
Over 200 soldiers have been released in a prisoner deal between Ukraine and Russia. Central European countries are preparing for the worst as torrential rainstorms are causing severe floods across the region. In Romania, at least 5 people were killed, and rescue services worked urgently to save 95 people in affected areas. The Czech Republic is now taking emergency precautions as meteorologists warn for further floods. Protective barriers are being put up in Prague, and water was released from dams to make space in reservoirs. In Brno, patients at a hospital are currently being evacuated. The Czech Central Flood Commission announced on Saturday that the most critical situation is in the Moravian Silesian region, calling for a state of danger to be declared. In the Austrian Kamp Valley, fire brigades are also bracing for worst-case scenarios. The situation is tense as many Central Europeans think back to 1997, when devastating floods killed over 100 people.
US President Joe Biden has brushed off a threat from Russia's leader Vladimir Putin about a war with the West if Ukraine's allies allow it to use weapons to strike targets deeper inside Russia. Asked what he thought about Putin's comments in talks with UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer, Biden said, "I don't think much about Vladimir Putin." Starmer also made no mention of granting Ukraine permission to use Western-donated long-range missiles to hit Russian military targets. Meanwhile, at the United Nations, Moscow's ambassador told the Security Council that NATO would be conducting direct war with Russia if approval were given to use Western-donated weapons to strike Russia. "We're not talking about a game here," Vasily Nebenzia said. But despite warnings of a severe escalation from the Kremlin, Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky remained resolute that that permission was crucial to turning the tables in the war.
Russia and Ukraine have exchanged over 100 prisoners each, the Russian military announced on Saturday. 103 Ukrainian servicemen were returned from Russian captivity. The health of some returnees has deteriorated significantly. Still, the soldiers embraced each other joyfully and called family members to celebrate their return.
Привіт, матусю. Не хвилюйтеся, я тепер в Україні, на рідній землі.
The Russian Defense Ministry has also released footage of the 103 Russian soldiers. They say they were captured in the Kursk region, where Ukrainian forces launched their surprise offensive 2 weeks ago.
Появилось такое облегчение сразу на душе. Уже понимаю, что я поеду домой, уже все позади, что уже не о чем переживать.
The United Arab Emirates said Saturday it helped mediate the prisoner swap, putting the overall total number of prisoners exchanged at 206. In total, since the beginning of the full-scale invasion, 57 prisoner-of-war exchanges have been carried out.
Iran said it launched a satellite into space using a rocket built by the country's paramilitary Revolutionary Guard. It's the latest update in a program that the West fears is helping Tehran advance its ballistic missile program. In the past, the United States said Iran's satellite launches defy a UN resolution and urged Tehran not to undertake activity involving ballistic missiles capable of delivering nuclear weapons. Iran has always denied seeking nuclear weapons and says its space program is for purely civilian purposes. Tensions are rising not only amidst escalating fears of an all-out regional war in the Middle East, but also following EU accusations that Iran was delivering drones and missiles to Russia to use in Ukraine. Putin held talks with a top Iranian security official, thanking Iran for maintaining cooperation and saying an agreement to consolidate the partnership between both countries would be signed.